Hi! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lea and I really like to knit. In today's video I want to make the Champagne Cardigan by PetiteKnit. I know my last bigger project vlog was the Champagne Cardigan, also a cardigan, but what can I say? I'm feeling cardigans at the moment, so I'll be knitting them. I'll be using this Grindle Classico wool, which is 50% merino, 50% acrylic, and I'll be using it in color white, which is the number 1. I bought 10 balls of this yarn by accident in January. I didn't return it because I thought it's already here and I can use this up anytime. I make a cardigan out of it or a sweater, and since then it's collecting dust in my yarn stash. But its time has finally come. I just stared at this yarn yesterday and the Champagne Cardigan came to my mind because I have this pattern for a few months now and planned on making this. So I'll be using this yarn. I'll also be using 4.5mm needles as the pattern recommends. I have 10 balls of this, which should definitely be enough, I think. I'll make this cardigan a bit more cropped, like the length of the Champagne Cardigan or my April cardigan, which is also a pattern by PetiteKnit. And I started yesterday. I did the German short rows and I am now, of course, I'm showing you this mid-row, of course. And now I'll be working the raglan increases for quite a few rows until I can separate, of course, the sleeves and the body. I'm not sure yet what I want to do for the buttons. I have quite a few different buttons in my stash. A friend of mine gifted me their grandmother's button collection, and it's quite a lot and quite different buttons. We'll be doing the button selection when the body is finished and I can envision the buttons for this project. I have a coffee and I have the new Love Island USA episode to watch. So I'll be doing that and get a few rows done before in the evening a few friends will arrive for the weekend. Today is Friday and we'll be celebrating my birthday. I had my birthday earlier this week. I have a barbecue planned for tomorrow with some more of my friends and it will be fun. And I can finally, if you've watched my Campanula tea video, I can give them all the friendship bracelets I've made, so I'm excited for that. I cleaned the whole apartment today, everything is ready to go, and I'm really excited. And now I'll just have a bit of me time before socializing the whole weekend. Let's get to knitting! Hello everyone! Before I talk to you about my little knitting update that I have, I just wanted to very quickly tell you about one of the amazing gifts that I got for my birthday from a friend. They crocheted this dress for me. I never got something handmade for me. I'm always gifting someone something handmade, but I never received a handmade gift, so I'm really excited about this. And this dress has a little special meaning to me because this design was worn, I think, last year by Taylor Swift when she was in Amsterdam, and this dress went viral, I would say. And when I first saw it, I thought, damn, that looks really cool. I really want to make this. And I actually sat down with the friend that gifted me this and we discussed yarn options, yarn colors, and I also got a free pattern. But after some time, I just forgot about this project, and they they actually asked me I think a month ago if I still want to make this dress, and I didn't think about what that could mean. I said probably not, maybe, I'm not sure. And that was actually their way of asking if I already made it, if I started it, if I had bought the yarn, but at that time the dress was almost finished. So the dress itself is almost perfect. It's a bit too long on the sleeves, but if I roll them up like this, I'll definitely stitch this down so that it stays in place, and then it should be definitely perfect. It's very cool. So yeah, I had a really, really amazing birthday weekend. I felt really loved. I had a good time. All my favorite people in the world were here. I received amazing, thoughtful and creative gifts. We all had a fantastic, amazing time, and I'm really happy I organized it. So that was all I wanted to tell you about. Now let's get back to the important things. The Champagne Cardigan. I finished the yoke. Today is the 6th day of working on it, and I actually had the goal yesterday to finish the yoke, but I couldn't do it. I was too busy. So I did it this morning, I think. Yeah, I did it this morning. Of course, I did it this morning. And I also did the last purl row, and now I can separate the body and the sleeves. And before I separate the body and the sleeves, I'm thinking of weaving in the ends that I have. There are a few. I'm currently on my 3rd ball of yarn, and I'm thinking of knitting the body first. Then I want to do the neckband with the buttons. And then, I'm not sure if this is possible, but I thought about it, and maybe I want to give it a try after I'm doing some research. I want to knit the sleeves 2 at a time. Is that the term for this? Last year I knitted 2 socks on the same time, and I heard about doing the same for sleeves. And yesterday I just thought about it randomly and thought maybe I can give it a try. I have to do some research, like I said. It should be possible. I don't know why it shouldn't. We'll see about that. I forgot something really important. I wanted to show you something else. I got some yarn from my mom for my birthday. She was in Norway and asked me what I want to get as a present. And I told her, well, when you're in Norway, you can bring me some yarn, of course. I told her about 3 projects I want to make, and maybe she could get me some yarn for one of the projects. And one second, I'll get the bag. And I think she got this yarn in Bergen, in this cute little bag, and she actually got me yarn for all 3 projects. And I wanted to show you this yarn and the 3 projects that I want to make. It's actually 4 projects when I think about it. The first one is with this yarn and this mohair. This is my first ball of mohair that I own. I want to make the Oslo hat by PetiteKnit. I knitted this pattern last year as a present, and I really wanted to make one for myself. So I'm not sure yet if I want to use mohair. I definitely want to make a hat in this color, but I'm not sure about the mohair. I'll do a swatch. It's the Sandnes Garn Sunday in the color 4372, and the Tin Silk Mohair, I think it's the same color, 4372. It's a dark maroon, dark burgundy. How many balls of yarn do I have? I got 3 balls of the Sunday yarn and 2 balls of mohair. Then we have another really cool pattern that I have to look up the name for because I forgot. That's a bit spontaneous what I'm doing here. Normally I have my notes ready. Now we have these 3 balls of yarn, 2 in this lovely green color and 1 white. I want to make with this the little checks socks by Summer Lee. I've stumbled upon her YouTube channel a few months ago, and I really enjoy her videos, and she has really cool patterns, and this is the first pattern that I want to make from her with this cute green color, and for the accent I want to use a bit of this white. Which brings me to the third project I want to make with this Sandnes Garn Sisu. Oh, these two are also Sisu. With these two I want to make my third pair of ruffle socks by PetiteKnit. The first pair I made last year died in the washing machine. It was my fault. We don't talk about it. And the second I did with some thick merino wool, and it's not that nice to wear. I want to make them again. I have 2 balls for that. And the last project, nothing exciting. It's the same sock in black. The ruffle socks by PetiteKnit in black. It's also Sandnes Garn Sisu. Something else I wanted to talk about is that I'm attending a wedding in 2 months. I'm actually the maid of honor, and I don't know why, but yesterday it just came across me that I could make I've almost said wedding dress. I thought about sewing my own dress for the wedding. I have around, I think, 3.5 meters of this very cute fabric. It's a red with some floral print, and I already checked with the bride, and she said it's cool, just come as you want to. She's very chill with it. And I found this really cool pattern from Vicky Sews. It's the Samira dress. I'm thinking about sewing this. I actually bought the pattern, and I accidentally bought the pattern in Russian. I'm not sure how I've done that, but it's alright. With some translator app I'll figure it out. So my plan is to first print this out, lay it on top of the fabric to check if I have enough. I probably won't have enough for the lining, but I have some other fabric that has the same material as the fabric for the dress itself, so maybe I will use that for the lining. I'm thinking about maybe vlogging this whole progress. I'm not sure yet, as I'm not sure if I really want to sew this. We'll see. I have another dress that I'll be wearing instead if I'm not decide to sew this. So if you're interested in seeing this, maybe you can let me know in the comments. This channel will definitely not become a sewing channel. I'm not that excited anymore about sewing. Knitting is more my passion, and I'm already talking for 15 minutes. So I'll pack my birthday yarn away for now and start separating the body and the sleeves for the Champagne cardigan. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I really appreciate it. And me and my little Taylor Swift dress will now start knitting. It's really hot today, so I'll be quick. I started yesterday with the ribbing, and I have so much so far. I think it's around maybe 2 centimeters. I started the ribbing after knitting in stockinette for 8 centimeters, which is a bit cropped, I know, but I want to have a white cardigan which is a bit more cropped than my other things, so I can wear this cardigan with dresses and so. And this ribbing will be 10 centimeters, so there will be a bit more length to it. And I also try to calculate a bit of length that I'll gain through blocking. Was that a correct sentence? You know what I mean. So my little goal for today is to knit at least 6 centimeters of ribbing, which should be easy peasy, I think. Today's Friday. I don't have much planned for today, which is amazing. And I also have some ice in the freezer to eat later. Today will be a very good day. Hi, exciting news. 1 second. The body is done. I finished the Italian bind-off yesterday and tried it on. I'm really happy about it, of course. And I also picked up all the stitches for the double knitted button band. And now we have the exciting task of selecting the buttons we want to use. I just went through my button stash. I have 2 favorites and one I really wanted to use, but it doesn't look that good. At first I want to show you the one I really wanted to use, but it doesn't look that good. It's this little button. It's a very, very light pink and it's a flower. Very cute. Doesn't really work that well, I think. So I'll be using these buttons for another project. Hopefully I find something. And I also thought about using a little green button, if you can see that. I'm doing my best to show you these, but I'm also I don't want to use green ones. So, and then I found, where are they? These buttons, which I think are really cool. And these are on 2nd place for getting on the button band. I really like this one and I have a few of them. And then I found these ones and I think they will look really good on the button. So the next step I need to do is select the number of buttons I want to use and place some markers on the cardigan where the buttonholes will be. And then I can start with the button band. That's all. So I'm thinking of doing either 1 or 2 buttons. I'm not sure yet. Let me show you. It's a bit hard to show you the full length of the potential button band because my cable is a bit too short. But let me show you what my buttons will look like. Here we have these ones, which I thought about. It doesn't look that bad, huh? No, I'm contemplating again. Oh no! I was dead set on the others, on the other button. This isn't good. Let me show you the others. Let me show you this one. These are all the buttons I have, so I have a few. Let me get a few more. I thought about something like this, maybe. I have to stand up and I mean, it's not bad. Now I'm really rethinking everything. Let me take a look at these. Here I also have a few more buttons. Let me search if I find another one of these. I need at least 3 buttons. Oh, I have 4. 4 are too many. So maybe like this. But this doesn't look right either, I think. I really thought I had the buttons that I want to use. What am I going to do? Help! I need help! Okay, I think I found the buttons I want to use. These are the exact same buttons I used for my April cardigan, which is a bit... I'm not that happy about it, but these are the ones that I want to use. They speak to me the most, so we'll be using them. Yippee! I'll be using 3 buttons, and now I'll think a bit more about the button placement and buttonhole placement, and then I can finally start with the button band. This took me way too long for a white cardigan. I've never had to decide for so long for some buttons. I'm sorry about this. I'm maybe a bit emotional. Maybe not. So I'll have to get a cup of coffee or a tea or something. I did a little swatch for the button band and the buttonhole. So the pattern recommends 22 to 24 millimeter buttons. Mine are 17 millimeters. It's a bit hard for you to see, but the pattern says if you have smaller buttons, you should do 8 rows for each of the columns. I just did that, but my buttonhole is a bit too loose for my liking. This will look cute, right? So I'm glad I did that. So I'm thinking of knitting the columns for 6 rows instead of 8, and I think this will do the trick. I'm really glad I had the idea to make a little button band swatch. And there goes my button. I did the placement for the buttons with little stitch markers. I'm happy about that. Hi, just sometime later, and one of the buttons fell on the floor and broke. But I still have enough of them left, so I guess I'll have to throw this one away. I have made a bit of progress on the button band. This is how much I have. Here's the first buttonhole. I did 6 row repeats for a 17mm button. If you're interested in all my project notes, my Ravelry project page is linked in the description, by the way. And yeah, I still have quite the way to go until this button band is finished. I think I talked to you about my plan for the sleeves. I want to knit both sleeves at the same time, and I watched a video about it, so I'm interested to see how this will be. When I knitted my first 2 at a time sock project, I had a good time. So quick little update, I've knitted not that much. It doesn't look that clean. I think I twisted a stitch. I'll try to fix it somehow with one of these ends. Maybe I can manipulate the stitch a bit, and it's not bad, but it's not that great either. It is currently 5 p.m. I have till 6 p.m. then I'll meet up with some friends. So let's see how much I can do in 1 hour. Here I'll start with the second buttonhole, a few stitches down the road. We'll see. Hello everyone! After 5 days of knitting the button band, I'm finally done! Yippee! I just did the Italian bind off. I like to place a stitch marker on the beginning of each day so I can see my progress. And this was the first day, the second day, the third day was quite good, the fourth day, and today. So now I want to weave in all the ends I have. I think I have around 6, not that much. No, that's a lie, I have 10 ends to weave in. It's also not that much. And once I've done that, I will start with the sleeves. Like I said, I want to knit both sleeves at the same time. For the first time in my knitting career, I already knitted 2 socks at the same time last year, and if you think about it, it's the same. I'm confident I can do that. The weather is quite nice. Everything is so green. The sun is shining. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. I'm in a very good mood. Oh, and today is Friday and it's a long weekend. Yesterday was a holiday here in Germany. I didn't have to work today, which is amazing. So a good start in what hopefully will become a very lovely weekend. Knitting both sleeves at the same time is definitely something else, but I like it. The last few days were quite hot and I wasn't that motivated to knit. But today I got a few rounds in and we currently have this much. We are currently in row 39 and my goal for today is to knit at least to round 40, which is half the decreases I need to work. I need to get around 80 and then do 10 centimeters of ribbing. So to get myself a bit more back in the flow. I want to give myself each day a little goal of maybe 10-20 rounds. When I reach round 40, I knitted today around 13 rounds, I think. I think I started in round 27, but I'm not sure. Today was quite the exhausting day at work and I really need to sit down and relax and knit. So this will be my evening. So I go back to my desk and knit. I have a few YouTube videos to watch and I also need to catch up on Love Island. I watched both Love Island USA and Love Island UK and I need to catch up on these episodes. But the last USA episode was really shit. I'm gonna say it, it was just shit. And I'm not that motivated to watch the rest of it. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going back to knitting. And I see you when I have another update, as usual. Before I give you an update, I wanted to show you something. My project bag has the same fabric as the dress that I'm currently wearing. I sewed this dress, I think, 2 years, maybe 3 years ago, when the whole milkmaid dress thing was trendy. And I really like it. I don't exactly know which pattern I used, but as I was sitting here and wanted to film, I realized that this is kind of funny. I did this bag with these scraps I had from this dress. And now to the important stuff. I just started with the ribbing for both of the sleeves. It measures around, I would say, 1 to maybe 2 centimeters, and I have to knit up to 10, just like the ribbing on the bottom. And I started the ribbing in row 82, so 2 rounds after the last decrease I needed to do, in size small. The pattern recommends to do the ribbing when the sleeve measures around 32 centimeters, but I think mine was around 28 centimeters. I tried it on, and if 10 centimeters were added, it was up until here, I think. So with a bit of blocking, it should be around here. Maybe, we'll see about that. That's the wonderful thing of creating your own clothes. You can just adjust them to your liking, to your body. And I did that. So I have some plans in the evening to meet up some friends, and I'm really excited about that. But until then, I have some free time to get a few rounds done. We are currently at 6.5 centimeters and I have 3.5 centimeters to go. And I counted the rounds and figured out that I have to knit 12 rounds more and then I'm done. I'm currently on round 2. Yay! I just started the show True Detective. I think I've watched it a few years ago, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'll be watching that while I get my rounds in, and hopefully maybe I can finish the sleeves today. At least the knitting part, the Italian bind off probably not. Hi there! At the current moment we have a little heat wave here in Germany. It's currently 33 degrees and I'm melting. Let me give you my final thoughts. I knitted this cardigan from, let me have a look at my notes. Oh, I got a friend request on Ravelry. This happened once before. Wow, I'm popular. So, I knitted this cardigan from the 5th of June to the 27th of June. So, 22 days. Wow, I had fun. This was my first time knitting both sleeves at the same time, and the first time I did the front edging directly after the body. I like the buttons that I chose. These are the exact same buttons that I use for my April cardigan, and the cardigan itself is a bit similar to the April cardigan, but I love that one. It's my favorite It's one of my favorite cardigans, but I like this one, and I'm really glad that I have a simple cropped white cardigan in my closet now. This was fun. But I'm done with cardigans for the next few projects and we'll see what we'll do next. As if I'm not already casted on my next project. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider liking and subscribing. I would really appreciate it. And I really hope to see you in the next video. Bye!